I was raised to be the iron-willed heir of the Sterling dynasty, a man of cold calculation, never the warm son my mother craved. Seeking that domestic bliss, my parents had another child, a daughter they spoiled rotten, raising her to be arrogant and domineering. Bella bore no resemblance to us, physically or in spirit. Even as a child, she was a master of manipulation and framing others. I could never bring myself to be close to her. That distance remained until my father, General Richard Sterling, told me with tears in his eyes, "Cole, your sister. She was switched at birth." Living this life a second time, the memories were etched in acid. The night the Sterling Empire fell, the marble floors slick with blood. I remember the SWAT teams, the gunfire, the ruin. And I remembered her, the girl in rags, fighting through the chaos, screaming, "Don't be afraid, brother. I'm here with you." Meanwhile, Bella, the diamond-draped fake heiress, was laughing, clinking champagne glasses in the arms of our destroyer. In the present, my mother, Eleanor, hugged Bella tight, shaking her head at me. "Cole, when will you learn to be softer with your sister?" Bella, nestled in her arms, looked at me with wide, teary eyes, while her manicured fingers smugly toyed with the pearls on mother's necklace, a silent provocation. I continued cleaning my sidearm, the cold steel reflecting my indifferent gaze. The security firm's logistics are a mess. I don't have time for childish games. My voice was hard, like ice hitting pavement. Mother's face darkened. "She is your sister. Why must you be so rigid? Can't you be like other brothers? Warm, fun?" Fun? The heir to the Sterling legacy didn't need to be fun. I needed to be strong, lethal. Only then could I hold up the family name and survive the Shark Tank of D. See, politics. Father would occasionally pat my shoulder, his eyes a complex mix of approval and unspoken regret. They wanted a daughter to dote on. So they created Bella. Treated like a princess, she grew up entitled and vicious. She broke father's antique Scotch decanter and blamed the maid without blinking. She skipped piano lessons and claimed the instructor bullied her. Every time, she'd dive into mother's arms, weeping, and receive unconditional comfort. My fact-based rebuttals only made me look cold and heartless. My heart had frozen over long ago. Until that night. Father returned from the Capitol, his suit damp with rain, eyes rimmed red. He dismissed the staff. "Cole, your sister. I'm afraid there was a mistake at the hospital 15 years ago." My grip on the gun slide tightened. I looked at him. The pain on his face was genuine. It was happening, exactly as I remembered. What happened? My voice was steady. Today, someone came with proof. They say Bella isn't Sterling. During the chaotic evacuation of the hospital during the storm years ago, a woman named Miller swapped the babies intentionally. Father squeezed his eyes shut. "I've sent investigators." The woman, likely a Martha Miller. Miller, that name was the key that unlocked the floodgates of my trauma. The bloody end of my past life surged forward, the feds storming the gates. Father pinned to the ground, mother fainting. Bella, in her designer gown, smirking in the arms of Senator Vance's son, watching us burn. And that girl in rags, forcing her way past the police line, barefoot and bleeding, screaming, "Brother, don't be afraid. I'll keep you warm." I clenched my fist, nails digging into my palm, forcing back the red tide of rage. "Father," I said, my voice eerily calm, "this concerns the Sterling bloodline. We must verify it. If our true sister is out there suffering, we cannot let her stay lost." Father looked shocked by my resolve. "Cole, you—" "Father," I cut him off. "Find her. Bring her home. Now." 3 days later, the report landed on the desk. DNA confirmed it. 15 years ago, during the hospital evacuation, Martha Miller switched her own daughter for the Sterling heiress. Father was furious. Mother fainted. A storm cloud hung over the estate. Only Bella's wing remained oblivious, filled with music and laughter. I led the team personally to the trailer park on the outskirts of the city. We found the Miller lot, a few rotting trailers and a yard filled with rusted junk. A girl in a stained, oversized t-shirt was scrubbing grease off a car part in the dirt. Her shoulder blades protruded sharply. Her wrists looked like they would snap in a stiff breeze. Hearing the SUV door slam, she looked up in terror. Her face was gaunt, smudged with oil and grime. But those eyes, clear, bright, starry, the shape of them was a mirror image of Father's. Seeing us, men in tactical gear and expensive suits, she dropped her brush and scrambled backward, shaking like a cornered animal. A shrill woman burst from the trailer. "You lazy brat. I'll teach you to." Martha Miller stopped dead when she saw us. Her face instantly shifted to a greasy, fearful smile. "Gentlemen, can I help you?" My gaze slid over her like a physical weight, and landed on the terrified girl. My heart constricted. It was her, the girl from my memories. My sister. Don't be afraid. I took off my trench coat and moved to drape it over her shivering shoulders. She flinched violently, curling into a ball on the dirt. Don't hit me. I'm sorry. I'll work right now. Her reaction was a practiced reflex that made my blood boil. Martha rushed forward. Oh, she's just clumsy, sir. Let me get her out of your way. She reached to grab the girl's hair. My eyes narrowed. Back off. My security detail shoved Martha aside. I crouched down, lowering my voice. I'm not here to hurt you. I'm here to take you home. She slowly lowered her arms, revealing eyes full of tears and disbelief. Oh, yes, your real home. Martha started wailing. You can't take her. She's my daughter, my flesh and blood. I sneered. Your daughter? Martha Miller, you stole a child. We'll settle that score later. Take her away. Security dragged the screaming woman aside. I wrapped the coat around the girl and gently helped her up. She was dangerously light. Is it really you, brother? That word shattered me. Yes. I choked out, lifting her into the SUV. Brother is here to take you home. 3. On the drive back, she huddled in the corner, eating a protein bar I gave her like a starving rodent. Fast, but trying to be polite. Tears rolled down her face as she ate. Don't be afraid, I said softly. You'll never go hungry again. She lowered her head. Thank you, brother. We arrived at the Sterling estate. The massive iron gates and sprawling mansion intimidated her. She hesitated at the steps. Mother and father rushed out. Mother, eyes red from crying, looked at the scrawny, dirty girl with a complex mix of pity, shock, and a strange detachment. My child, you've suffered. Mother reached out to hug her. The girl flinched and hid behind me, gripping my jacket. Mother's hand froze in midair, a flicker of embarrassment crossing her face. Just then, a sweet, high-pitched voice rang out. Daddy, Mommy, Cole, what's everyone doing outside? Bella came bounding out in a pink designer dress, diamonds glittering at her throat. She saw the girl behind me, and her smile faltered. A flash of disgust and alertness crossed her eyes, fast, but I saw it. She hooked her arm through Mother's. Mommy, who is this beggar? She's filthy. Don't let her get near you. The grip on my jacket tightened. Mother looked uncomfortable. Father frowned. Bella, don't be rude. She is the legitimate daughter of this house. I interrupted coldly. My biological sister. Bella's smile froze. Cole, what are you talking about? I'm your sister. She shook Mother's arm. Mommy, is Cole crazy? Why is he bringing a homeless girl here? Mother, torn between the polished daughter she raised and the broken stranger before her, wavered. Cole, the investigation isn't fully. Mother, I cut in, my voice leaving no room for argument. The DNA is conclusive. Martha Miller switched them. This girl is the Sterling. Bella is the Miller's daughter. Bella turned pale. No, impossible. You're lying. I'm the heiress. She threw herself into Mother's arms. Mommy, tell him, I'm your Bella. Mother held her, glaring at me. Cole, must you be so cruel? It was starting again. The bias. The blindness. Cruel. I pulled my real sister forward. Look at her face. Look at her eyes. They're Father's eyes. Now look at Bella. Does she resemble you or Father in the slightest? Mother choked on her words. The resemblance was undeniable. Father stepped in, voice grave. Eleanor, he's right. The evidence is irrefutable. Panicking, Bella broke away and ran past my sister, deliberately checking her shoulder hard. My sister stumbled back. I caught her. Bella threw herself to the ground, clutching her shoulder, sobbing. Ouch! Cole, why did you push me? Do you hate me that much? My sister, the real victim, pulled away from me and dropped to her knees on the asphalt. She slammed her forehead against the ground. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It was my fault. Please don't be mad at brother. Please don't be mad at miss. She begged like a beaten dog. It was her survival instinct from the trailer park. Apologize first to avoid the blow. My heart felt like it was being ripped out. I yanked her to her feet and shielded her. I glared at Bella. You tackle her and then play the victim? Is this the class we taught you? Bella stopped crying, stunned. Even Mother looked unsettled by the contrast between Bella's fake tears and the girl's genuine terror. Take Miss Miller to her room. I ordered the staff. She is confined to the West Wing until further notice. Bella screamed. You can't. Mommy. But Father remained silent. Security escorted a kicking Bella away. I turned to the trembling girl. Listen to me. From today on, you're the only daughter of a Sterling family. No one will hurt you again. If they try, I looked around at the staff. They will answer to me. I turned to Mother, who looked conflicted. Her name? Mother asked awkwardly. The girl whispered, Kit, just Kit. I answered for her. Her name is Daisy. Daisy Sterling. Take her to the guest rooms, Mother suggested. No, I said firmly. She stays in the annex, right next to my quarters. I'll watch over her. Mother bristled. That's highly irregular. She's my sister. It's settled. I guided Daisy toward the annex, ignoring Mother's shock. 4. The annex was luxurious but cold. I ordered the maids to bring fresh linens and food immediately. Daisy stood in the center of the room, terrified to touch anything. This is your home now. I sat her down and pushed a bowl of warm soup toward her. Eat. She stared at it. I'm not hungry. Her stomach growled loudly. She blushed crimson. I put the spoon in her hand. Here, no one judges you. Eat. She took a tiny sip, savoring it. It broke me. In the last timeline, she starved to death. Eat as much as you want. There's always more. She looked up, hope flickering in her eyes. Really? I can stay and have food. Yes. Food, clothes, school. Whatever you want. A knock came at the door. Sir, the madam sent clothes and jewelry for Miss Daisy. Felicity, one of Mother's favorite maids, walked in with a pile of clothes. The colors were dull, the styles outdated. Madam says there wasn't time to order new customs, so these are some of Miss Bella's old things. And some jewelry she doesn't wear anymore. Daisy stopped eating, her light dimming. She lowered her head. I stood up, walked over, and picked up a gold hair clip. It was scratched. Old things. Stuff she doesn't wear. I snapped the clip in half with a sharp crack. Felicity jumped. Is the Sterling family bankrupt? My sister wears leftovers. Felicity paled. Sir, Madam, didn't mean. Get out, I snarled. Take this trash back to where it came from. Felicity scrambled out. I turned to Daisy. Daisy, listen. You are not a charity case. You're the owner of this house. You deserve the best. Never accept scraps. Tomorrow, we get you a new wardrobe. The best money can buy. She nodded, tears in her eyes. 5. I left the annex and met my head of security, Gavin. Sir, Bella is tearing apart the West Wing. Screaming for your parents. Did they go? Your father is at a gala. Your mother. She went in. I narrow my eyes. Let's go. We arrived to hear Bella sobbing. Mommy, I'm not a stray. Cole is lying. Send that beggar away. Mother was comforting her. Sure, I know, baby, I know. I walked in. The room was trashed. Bella seems to have plenty of energy, I said dryly. I'm just upset. Bella wailed. Upset enough to destroy property? I looked at Mother. Is this how we raise Sterlings? Mother flushed. She's in shock, Cole. So, she lived like a queen for 15 years while the real daughter starved. Mother had no answer. Bella crai darder. Brother hates me. Stop the act, I said. You pushed Daisy. You lied. Bella denied it. I have security footage, I bluffed. She froze. Mother, I said, if you coddle this behavior, you aren't loving her, you're destroying her, and endangering this family. I issued a command to the staff loud enough for everyone to hear. Bella is grounded. Total lockdown. No internet, no phone, no visitors. Anyone who smuggles anything to her gets fired and blacklisted. Mother gasped. Bella stared in horror. I walked out. Gavin, I said quietly outside, that wasn't enough? Compared to what's coming, this is nothing. 6. The house was tense. I purged the staff, firing the sycophants and bringing in loyalists. I showered Daisy with the best, designers, tutors, chefs. Slowly, she began to smile. A shy, tentative smile. One day, I was reviewing intel in my study. Gavin entered. Sir, Miss Daisy is here. Daisy walked in holding a tray. She wore a pale green dress, looking clean and soft. Brother, I made soup. I tasted it. It was simple, perfect. It's delicious. She beamed. I like the kitchen. It makes me feel safe. Then cook. Use my private kitchen whenever you want. Gavin returned later with a grim look. We found something on Martha Miller. 5 years ago, she suddenly got money. We found a burnt scrap of paper in her stove. Expensive bond paper. He placed a charred fragment on the desk. It bore a partial embossed seal. A stylized eye. The symbol of the Watcher. A shadowy political fixer connected to Senator Vance. So it was a conspiracy, I muttered. Vance planted Bella to infiltrate us. Gavin nodded. Also, your mother visited Bella again. Afterwards, a ruby necklace went missing from the safe. I laughed humorlessly. Lockdown breached. Okay, let's escalate. Invite Mother and the senior staff to the annex. Tell them Daisy made snacks. 7. Mother arrived at the annex looking sour, trailed by the senior housekeepers, including Felicity and Beatrice. Daisy stood nervously by a plate of cookies she'd baked. Mother, she whispered. Mother took a tiny bite, chewed slowly and frowned. Too sweet. Texture is gritty. Looks amateur. Daisy wilted. The maid smirked. Beatrice even rolled her eyes. Mother's right, I said calmly. But the intent matters. I turned to the staff. Try them. They ate, muttering vague compliments. Beatrice took a bite and suppressed a giggle. Beatrice, I said. She froze. You rolled your eyes? Do you find my sister's effort amusing? She fell to her knees. No, sir. You disrespect the daughter of this house. I stood up. Gavin, take her out. Process her termination. Ensure she never works in D. C. Again. 2 guards dragged the screaming maid away. The room went deathly silent. Mother was shaking with rage. Cole, over a cookie. Over respect, Mother. Daisy has suffered enough. I will not tolerate disrespect from the help. Mother stormed out. I ate a cookie. It's good, I told Daisy. Next time, less sugar. But remember, you are the boss. If they disrespect you, fire them. She nodded, wiping her eyes. I understand. News of the firing spread. The staff's attitude toward Daisy did a 180. She started walking taller. But I knew Bella wasn't done. A few days later, Gavin reported Bella smuggled a letter out. To Uncle, the Watcher. The letter begged for help and asked to remove Daisy. It was stamped with the eye symbol. She used a kitchen porter. We're tracking the recipient. 9. I cut Bella's allowance to 0 and reduced her staff to bare minimums. The West Wing fell silent, but I knew it was the calm before the storm. 10. 2 days later, additional commendations arrived from the White House. Father and I had been cited for our recent work on the border security bill. Along with the official plaques came diplomatic gifts, bolts of rare fabrics and jewelry sets intended for the family. The gifts were displayed in the main hall. I happened to be there when Mother was inspecting them. Her eyes lit up at a bolt of midnight blue raw silk, imported from Milan, and a set of pink diamond earrings. Instinctively, she turned to the butler. Send the blue silk and the diamonds to the West Wing. Bella has such fair skin. This blue will make her look radiant. The butler hesitated, glancing at me. I slowly placed my coffee cup on the saucer with a sharp clink. I didn't speak. Mother froze, realizing her slip. She forced a smile. Oh, look at me. Getting confused. Of course. They should go to Daisy. I'm glad you remembered, Mother, I said, my voice devoid of warmth. Daisy is the legitimate daughter of the Sterling house. The presidential gifts are hers to choose from first. I looked at the butler. Take everything to the annex. Let Daisy choose. Whatever she doesn't want. I paused, looking at Mother's tightening jaw. Can go into storage. Mother gripped her handkerchief, her knuckles turning white. I stood up to leave, but paused at the door. Since you're feeling well enough to manage the household, perhaps you should visit Daisy. She's improved her cooking and has been wanting to make you something special. I walked out, leaving Mother stewing in her own embarrassment. 11. At the annex, the staff brought in the trays of silk and velvet, the boxes of gems. Daisy stared at the pile of wealth, retreating step by step, waving her hands frantically. No. This is too expensive. I can't. She looked at me, eyes rimmed with red. Brother, I really don't need this. Give it to Mother or the girl in the West Wing. I frowned. Daisy, my voice dropped an octave. She went silent, lowering her head like a scolded child. Lift your head. Look at these things. She timidly looked up. This silk is rare. These diamonds are worth a fortune. I picked up the heavy bolt of cool blue silk and shoved it into her arms. But they're just things, inanimate objects. You, Daisy Sterling, are the living, breathing air of this family. Are the objects too good for you, or are you too good for them? Daisy clutched the fabric, her fingers trembling. She opened her mouth, but no sound came out. Butler, I commanded, leave the items. Let Miss Daisy choose at her leisure. Store the rest. Yes, sir. The staff retreated respectfully. The room fell quiet. Daisy was still hugging the silk like it was a hot coal. Brother, I don't like it, I asked. She shook her head, then nodded, then whispered, I like it, but no buts. I softened my tone. If you like it, keep it. Make a dress. If you don't, throw it in the closet to gather dust. You're the master here. You have that right. I looked into her bewildered eyes. You have to get used to this, Daisy. Get used to people bringing you the best. Get used to being worth it. She seemed to only half understand, but her grip on the silk tightened just a fraction. 12. The West Wing remained quiet for less than 48 hours after the allowance cut. I knew Bella wasn't resigning herself to fate. She was plotting. Sure enough, that evening, Felicity ran to my quarters, face pale. Sir, bad news. Madam ate the lotus soup Miss Daisy sent, and suddenly fell ill. She's vomiting and covered in a rash. The doctor says it's poison. I slammed my file shut. Where is Daisy? She was in a room serving the soup. Madam has detained her. The general isn't home yet. My eyes went cold. I stood up and strode toward Mother's wing. The courtyard was in chaos. Inside, I heard Mother groaning and retching. When I entered, I saw Daisy kneeling on the floor, shaking violently, face pale as a sheet. Two maids stood guard over her. Mother was on the bed, looking green, her arm covered in angry red hives. Brother, Daisy saw me and burst into tears. I really didn't poison her. Mother shrieked from a bed. It was her, that ungrateful wretch. She hates me for loving Bella. She wants to kill me. I pulled Daisy up from the floor. Her hands were ice cold. I believe you, I whispered. She looked up, desperate hope in her eyes. I turned to the doctor. What poison? What are the symptoms? It looks like she ingested a toxic herb, the doctor said nervously. Likely foxglove. The dosage wasn't lethal, thankfully, but it causes severe gastric distress and rashes. Foxglove. I scanned the room. A maid, Tanya, suddenly gasped. I remember. Yesterday afternoon, I saw Daisy's maid, Annie, digging suspiciously in the garden, right where the foxglove grows. All eyes turned to Daisy. No, Annie didn't. I didn't. Daisy cried. Search the annex, I ordered Gavin, and search Annie's quarters. 13, Mother wailed. Call the police. Take her away. I never want to see her again. Daisy closed her eyes in despair. I stood still, face impassive. Gavin returned quickly, face grim. He held a small paper packet containing crushed leaves. Sir, we found this hidden in the bottom of the spice jar in Daisy's private kitchen. Confirmed foxglove residue. It was a thunderclap. The staff looked at Daisy with horror and disgust. It really was her. Attempted matricide. Daisy stared at the packet, unable to speak, trembling in absolute defeat. I took the packet and smelled it. Then I turned to Tanya. You said you saw Annie digging? What's your name? Tanya, sir. I work in the garden. You have sharp eyes, Tanya, I said, my voice dangerous. Foxglove isn't rare, but you identified it from a distance? And remembered the exact time? Tanya paled. I just. Check her financials, I told Gavin, and interrogate the maid who found this packet. Gavin returned 10 minutes later. Tanya's brother just paid off a $50,000 gambling debt yesterday. Tanya's knees gave out, and the maid who found the packet says Tanya told her exactly where to look. Tanya, I said softly, federal prison is not a fun place. Who paid you? Tanya screamed, I'll talk. It was Felicity, from the West Wing. She gave me the money. She told me to frame Daisy. She said she'd give me another $100,000 when it was done. 14. The room exploded in gasps. Mother sat up, shock overriding her sickness. Felicity, standing by Mother's side, turned gray and dropped to her knees. Madam, I didn't. She's lying. I have proof. Tanya yelled, pulling out bank receipts. She gave me cash, but the withdrawal slip was in the envelope. Gavin snatched the papers. It matches Felicity's account. Mother looked from Felicity to Tanya, and finally to Daisy, who was still kneeling, tears streaming down her face, but looking at me with total trust. Mother swayed and collapsed back onto the pillows. Drag him out, I ordered. Interrogate Felicity. Find out every detail. Arrest the entire staff of the West Wing. I walked over to Mother. She was weeping, broken. Do you see now, Mother? I asked mercilessly. This is the daughter you raised. She poisoned you. Her own mother, just to frame your biological child. She was willing to make you suffer just to keep her status. Mother couldn't speak. She just sobbed, a sound of utter regret. I turned away. Daisy looked at me, eyes bright through the tears. I extended my hand. Get up. The show is over. Time for dinner. She took my hand. It was cold, but her grip was firm. I won't cry, she said, voice shaking but clear. Crying means losing. I smiled. Good. 15. Felicity confessed, Gavin reported later. Bella orchestrated it. She promised Felicity a huge payout and a way out of the country. The foxglove was prepared to look bad, but not kill. Just enough to incapacitate your mother and frame Daisy. In the letter, we intercepted another one. To Uncle, the Watcher. It's desperate. She's asking him to remove Daisy permanently. Gavin paused. Also, Martha Miller is talking. She says a man with an eye tattoo paid her to swap the babies 15 years ago. He had a high-pitched voice. The Watcher. I mused. That matches Silas Vane, Senator Vance's fixer. This goes all the way to the top. I looked at the seal on Bella's letter. The eye. Okay, they want to play rough? Let's help them. How? Leak a rumor to the West Wing. Tell Bella that Martha Miller is dying and begging for a final confession. Tell her the investigation is closing in. Make her panic. Then, Open a hole in the security perimeter. 16. Daisy brought me cookies again. Much better this time. Can I learn to read the complex reports? She asked. I want to understand your work. I want to be useful. I nodded, handing her a file. Start here. That night, Father came home to the chaos. He reviewed the evidence of the poisoning, the bank transfers, the confessions. He stormed into the West Wing. Bella was screaming, blaming Felicity, blaming everyone. But Father was a general. He saw the battlefield clearly. You are toxic, he said, voice trembling with rage. Lock her in the basement holding room. No contact with anyone. 17. Bella, locked in the damp basement, started screaming for Uncle in her sleep. We let the rumor of Martha's condition reach her via a bribe guard who was actually working for me. 3 nights later, under the cover of a storm, a figure approached the estate's perimeter wall where we'd left a deliberate gap in the sensors. Bella had been allowed to escape her room. She ran through the rain to the edge of the woods. A man in a trench coat waited. It was Silas Vane. Uncle, save me, she cried, grabbing his coat. You idiot, Vane hissed, shoving her away. You failed. The plan is ruined. He handed her a small vial. Put this in Cole's drink tomorrow. It's odorless. Do it, or you're useless to us. Is that a confession? I stepped out from the trees, tactical lights blinding them. Vane drew a suppressed pistol, but Gavin dropped him instantly with a taser round. Bella collapsed in the mud, screaming. No, I was forced. It was him. We have it all on video, I said coldly. And Martha Miller's testimony, and the financial trail. 18. Father took the evidence to the president the next morning. Senator Vance was implicated in a massive conspiracy involving kidnapped children, blackmail, and treason. The political fallout was nuclear. Vance was indicted. Silas Vane turned state's witness. Bella was sent to a secure juvenile correction facility in Utah, far away from D.C. She would never hurt anyone again. 19. Mother fell into a depression, guilt eating at her. But slowly, she started visiting the annex. It wasn't perfect, but she was trying. She brought fabric swatches, asked about recipes. The wall between them began to thaw. 20. 6 months later, the annual Sterling Gala. Daisy walked down the grand staircase in a gown made of that midnight blue silk, her head held high. She caught my eye and smiled, a genuine, confident smile that lit up the room. The president approached Father. General Sterling, your daughter is charming. Your family is strong. Daisy took her place beside me. The fake heiress was gone. The conspiracy was crushed. The Sterling legacy was secure. And I would keep it that way. Story complete.